Alright, haulers. Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019 Beaver Creek, as always. So, we are back after the snowstorm, and I still haven't had time to clean up or anything like that. But, as you guys know from the last episode, we have a giant mess to go clean up at the sawmill with whatever happened. I don't know if those got blown over or whatever it is. But I also need to clean up this lot, and I need to clean up at my, I guess, home now. So what I've done is we did head down. We were able to pick up a snowblower, and we've got it mounted here on the front of the John Deere. So the John Deere is finally going to get some action around here. We really haven't used it for much lately. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take the new blower, see how it runs, see how it works, and go from there. So we are going to be kicking it off with a time lapse. Obviously, I apologize if you don't like that. You can always skip ahead to the end of that. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on that sort of thing, and if you prefer the, commentary with like live gameplay, let me know, because I can always just skip through. But if you guys prefer the time lapses, let me know, and I'm always willing to do more of that. I just don't want to do them constantly. I kind of want to do a mix-up. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this lot. We're going to run over, finish cleaning up the sawmill. Obviously, we're going to finish up the road coming in as well. There's a little bit in the middle of the road that I haven't gotten yet. We're going to try and make ourselves an area that we can get into to get that pile out. And we're actually going to be loading up that pile today onto the truck, taking it down to sell, hopefully, clearing up that whole area, and then we can come back to it. And I do want to mention, too, I did talk about last time buying a box blade and a, a bucket loader to move snow around with, like a much larger one. I had been looking at a JCB, but it just doesn't fit what I need right now, and it's too expensive. Obviously, once we sell our whatever is left from that, we might have enough money to cover it, but I just don't want to get that. I think the snowblower will do just fine with the plows that we have, and we'll probably get some sort of bucket or larger plow at some point that we can use kind of alongside it. But for now, I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in. Actually, I do want to mention, too, just before we jump in the John Deere, it's actually, I believe it's JCB's 75th birthday, and they actually followed me on Instagram. So shout out to JCB for that, and congrats on 75 years, I guess. That's awesome. And personally, I'm a huge JCB fan, always have been. Don't get to run them in real life, but I definitely love having them on the farm, and hopefully we get to see their teleskid here soon. I'd love to see that, and I would definitely get that in-game. But nevertheless, let's go ahead, let's jump in the John Deere and kick this episode off.
Hard to ignore all the things we said. I wish I could change it. A little shaky. Our emotions got the best of us lately. I got issues, yeah, you got them too. Our feelings too bruised to fight. We can say a lot in a little bit. Pressure in our minds made us throw a fit. But got that kind of love and that ain't counterfeit. It's foolish and useless without your love. We can say a lot without your love. Pages, communication, maybe focus on the basics. Well, let's face it, being open isn't easy as they say it. I got issues, yeah, you got them too. Our feelings too bruised to fight. We can say a lot in a little bit. Pressure in our minds made us throw a fit. Got that kind of love and that ain't counterfeit. It's foolish and useless without your love. We can say a lot without your love. We can say a lot. We can say a lot in a little bit. Pressure in our minds made us throw a
All right, and there we go. So I've got most of the area cleared out. We'll take a peek behind me and you guys can see. Got most of this cleared out. Obviously, I don't need the whole area cleared out, but if we get another massive snowstorm, I want to be able to put the snow somewhere. I'm not going to worry about getting too much more specific with it, just because we've run out of time for the day. So I'm going to head home. I'm going to crash for the night. We will come back bright and early in the morning, hopefully, and see what we're going to need to do to get the pallets actually out of the area. I'm not quite sure. I wasn't able to clear a ton up at the sawmill. I tried to get in there and clear some space with both the snowblower as well as the truck with the plow on it, but we really just need a bucket loader with a box blade on it, which we don't have access to. So we're going to have to kind of see what we can do. Some of that stuff has kind of been drifted into, so there's snow kind of piled into some of those. We may end up having to pull the 909M out and put the grapple on it and take that up, and potentially the skidder as well. We can use the blade on the skidder should we need to help clear snow, which won't really get us too far because it's a very tiny little blade that's not really meant for it, but it's an option. What I'd like to do is tomorrow we will come back and get the Peterbilt pulled out and hooked up to the trailer so that that is ready to go. I would like to be able to load it within a reasonable distance of the sawmill. I may not be able to get it right up into because the roads are all kind of blocked in, but hopefully we don't have to carry everything down here and then load it on the trailer. So we'll probably get that hooked up. Potentially the skid steer, probably not. Most likely we'll grab the telehandler, get that all brought out of storage and ready to go. And hopefully, if the winter weather starts to subside, we'll get out back to cutting trees while the ground is still frozen before spring hits. That's kind of my goal. But we're going to come back in the morning, so I will see you guys then. Alright, good morning everyone. We are back. So, it is about 9 a.m. Obviously, that's not super early, but I've been here trying to go through some of the equipment, get it ready for the day. And I wanted to have a little bit more light out because obviously it'll be easy to see, and right now the nights are kind of long. So we waited a little longer, about 9:30 I think right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to start getting everything pulled out. I want to get the Peterbilt hooked up. You can see there I put the John Deere in there. That thing barely fits with the other truck in there. So we're going to pull that out. We're going to have that on standby in case we need to use it. I don't have a pallet fork for it, which I'm probably going to get sometime in the future. But if we need the snowblower, we can always come back and grab it. Same with the dump truck. We might haul some snow away if we need to. And then obviously, it's going to be basically a puzzle getting everything out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get all the equipment out, and then we will go from there. Alright, so I managed to get the Peterbilt backed all the way up. I managed to actually get some more snow cleared with the blower now that it was daytime and some of it had a little bit of a chance to melt. It's not really melting super fast, it's not getting warm enough to do so. It is warm enough to melt, but it's going to stick around for quite a while, especially the snowbanks we have back at the other place. But now we're heading up with the telehandler to hopefully see if we can't dig some of these out. And I realized too, you can see here as we drive across, the ice is actually frozen underneath. I want to go down and check how deep the ice is frozen to, because I would love to be able to get out across the way and clear up some stumps and some trees. And if it's enough, we might be able to put the, feller buncher on the ice, because it's not really that deep. And if it's frozen well, then we should be okay, because even if we break through, I've had that feller buncher in the water before and it not go, like, it doesn't really go above the tracks, so we should be plenty fine. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start trying to disassemble this mess. We'll probably have to grab the feller buncher with the crane attachment on it to see if we can get some of these other ones out. We're going to hopefully get the truck loaded up and then take these down and see what we can get for a sell price on them. And there we go. That is one full load. And obviously we still have a lot more loads to go, but that is very much a start. Oh man, though, it is going to take us quite a while to actually get through all of this and get it properly cleaned up. We probably have at least 4 loads more, if not more than that. I mean, if we're fitting, what, 8 of the hardwood and then 4 of the others. I mean, right there alone, you've got at least 2 or 3 loads of hardwood and easily that much of the split wood. So that's definitely going to be a pain. But we're going to go ahead, we'll get that ratcheted down and get moving. Alright, so we are in the truck. The trailer is all loaded, so we're going to go ahead and get rolling. It's all ratcheted down. We're just going to take it nice and easy. Obviously, this is our first trip in the new truck, so I'm excited to see how it goes, especially on the new road. One major thing that I want to work on is this entrance here. It's a little steep for this truck and trailer. It's a little steep for basically all of my equipment, though. So I'm probably going to come back this summer and infill some of that with dirt and potentially excavate a little bit just to kind of clear it up. But while we're doing this first trip with the new truck, obviously here you get to get a better look at the road in the daytime, the new road. So much nicer, and obviously you can see we haven't cleared off all the roadways. We're not liable to, we don't have to. We only cleared what we have to. I mean, we're really the only ones that are coming back here, so we're good on that front. But I wanted to kind of ask you guys kind of what you want to see from me going forward, because I know I focused a lot on the logging of this area, but this summer I would like to look at getting into potentially farming some crops in the field that we now own across from our house. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I would love to do that as well. Obviously the logging is a priority for this map so that we can clear this out so we can then carve up some of these lands for fields. But for right now, we are focusing on that sort of thing. And there's no reason down the road I can't come back and get into the actual farming of some of these areas. It's just going to be a lot of logging for a while, so definitely let me know what you want to see, and we'll go from there on that front. And then obviously I'm still considering the JCB with the box blade on it. It would be a huge help to have it, but I'm not finding any companies that have a box blade that I'm happy with. I'm going to try out a couple of other ones, or I guess not try them out, but I'm going to go to the store and see about a couple of other ones. We got to make our left here. Take it nice and easy because we haven't really plowed out a lot of this. But I'm definitely going to check out some other ones and kind of see how they are, see how they work. Most of the ones that I've dealt with so far, I've just not liked, I'm not really interested in, so I'm not really for certain. I would love to still get the bucket loader, but we will come back to that at another point. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to make it over there, drop this off, and come back in just a minute. Alright, we have fully offloaded. We are now on our way back. It's kind of funny, the guy at the scales didn't realize that we had actually purchased the truck from, or I guess traded in our truck for the truck that used to belong to the sales people down there, because he thought I was them pulling in. So that was definitely funny. But I do want to kind of ask you guys as well. My summer plans right now are I would like to invest in a couple of things. One, I would like to invest in a proper log processor. I'd like to start hauling logs more, and alongside a log processor, potentially a forwarder, as well as a trailer that has a proper crane on it so that we can start hauling pulp or pulpwood or stuff like that, potentially just cutting up shorter. Obviously we don't really have to do that, but it would be nice to have. It would make our lives a lot easier, and obviously hauling the super large logs only works for so long and for some things, so I would definitely like to mix it up with that front. Obviously, right now, we're a very small kind of ragtag operation with the feller buncher and the skidder, so that's kind of my goal. But what other ideas do you guys have? I know I want to do some split wood. I want to spend part of the summertime prepping for this upcoming winter. I'd like to sell off some firewood if possible, so we might spend some time doing that. Obviously, we've got plenty of clearing to do, plenty of road works to do, that sort of thing. So definitely let me know. And while I have your attention, do consider subscribing. These videos take a lot of time to make, and it definitely makes all the difference to have you guys subscribe and to know that you guys are willing to stick around and watch me do some stupid stuff on a logging site, I guess. But I also want to ask as well, what types, like, how do you like to consume this type of stuff? Because obviously I can make a time-lapse, I can make, you know, regular Let's Plays with commentary, that sort of thing. People tend to vary on that. I know that there's a lot of people that are doing time-lapses right now, and there are people like Daggerwin who, they mainly do commentary, but now they're starting to experiment with that sort of thing, so definitely let me know. I gotta try and turn around in the snow and hopefully not get stuck. We're gonna take this nice and easy. Try not to... Whoops, I can feel her sliding. This is where I got caught up earlier. I had to come pull myself out with the John Deere. So hopefully we'll be able to get back okay. It looks like we're fine. Looks like we should be good. Definitely have a ton of loading and moving products to go ahead and do. But I think that's probably going to be something I'm going to finish up off camera, and then we will come back to it at another point in time, probably when I'm closer to being done. Alright, so we are back. I do apologize. The reason it's been a few days, obviously you can see it's been a few days here in Beaver Creek, and that's because I ended up getting sick not long after I got done plowing. And so, or when I went to start cleaning up. So I've been kind of out of commission the last few days, and finally got enough energy yesterday to come out. We finished everything up, had a friend come out and help me, so that was awesome. And you can see here there is nothing. There is no mess, there is no snow, everything has been cleared out. Do have a hell of a snowbank over here though, so we could definitely do some sledding. But the reason that we are over here right now is because I actually want to kind of talk about a couple of things. And, oh, well, fun fact too, I'll come over here and show you guys. Did not realize it, I almost destroyed the plow on the pickup truck because I was over here plowing and I realized, oh, there's actually little logs that I had cut up that I was meant to haul away in the UTV that I had actually left here, and they're frozen, so there's no way we're getting them out right now, but we'll have to come back and get them at another point. But the reason I'm here is because I want to go over a couple of potential future projects with you guys and show you guys my thought process for what I want to do at the sawmill. Obviously, there's been the prospect of adding more buildings and stuff like that, but one of the most recent kind of ideas that I've had to see maybe we can accomplish this spring is kind of a loading base. We're going to go ahead and hop out here so we can take a look. But yeah, so a loading bay, and you guys won't really envision it yet. I'm going to kind of go right here and see about maybe sketching out some stuff so that you guys can see what I'm thinking. But my thought process is to kind of put a loading bay right here. It's kind of in the perfect spot with having all this stuff here where we can just pull right up onto trucks or whatever. This would be specific to probably flatbeds and, you know, standard 53 footers, obviously. We could not use this with the drop deck. However, this would mean that we could start exporting. I do have someone who's talking to me about a couple of things, including, and this is going to sound very weird, and I thought it was very weird at first, they will actually ship me wooden crates, and then I fill them with sawdust, or not sawdust, but wood chips. And we actually, I guess, no, sawdust too was on that list, I think, as a byproduct, but mainly wood chips. And they actually use that stuff for small, like, landscaping projects and that sort of thing. Obviously, it's not ideal. I told them, it's like I'm looking at a dump trailer and that I could just do that, but they would prefer to have it in smaller crates. And, I mean, whatever at that point, I guess. If that's what they want, then I can do it. And so they would actually send a truck out, and we would just load the truck up with these crates after they're full, and then they would just take care of the rest, and we would get paid. I'm not going to argue with money. I mean, let's be honest, who will? So it's definitely something I really need to consider, because I have no way right now to really load a truck other than the little ramp that we have over there, and that is a pain to use. It is a massive pain, especially right now where it gets slick from the ice. So we definitely need something new. So my thought process is, okay, this is our main entrance here. We have the bridge. The first step I want to do is kind of make this less, maybe a little bit less of an arc, and kind of smooth it out, excavate a little bit of it so it becomes very smooth to come up. And then directly alongside it, excavate out some of the earth, potentially, to make... See, this is kind of tough here because this is all on an incline. If I could smooth it out, maybe it might be a little bit easier. And it doesn't help already that we don't have a lot of working space on this side either. But maybe we could excavate out some of the land on this side, kind of right here, remove the trees, clear the brush, all that stuff, and kind of put in a little loading area right here. So the back of the truck would basically be right here. Not sure if that's going to work. I'm not sure if I'm crazy. At the very least, we could even consider adding one over on the other side, but it would mean that we'd be kind of in an awkward spot where we would have to excavate out of this big area, and I really don't know if I want to do that. This seems like a nice way to keep it kind of clean and kept up, and then we can always put storage and stuff on this side. But definitely let me know if you guys have any ideas, because that's where my thought process lies right at this moment. The other issue is all this wiring and stuff. I am going to have to obviously be cautious about that, because I don't know where a lot of it comes out to. And then one other project too I want to cover real quick is right here. What we've been doing is dragging the logs into the water so that we can then drag them up into the sawmill, which is all great, but it would be awesome to be able to... And it's snowing again. Are you kidding me? Ah, man. Yep, this is definitely Beaver Creek, but it would be very, very awesome to be able to actually have a crane that actually would unload smaller pieces. Obviously, one thing that I'm looking for... actually, I don't know if I've mentioned it yet. Part of why I'm doing all this is there's actually an auction that's going to be happening this week, and we're going to be selling off, most likely, our logging trailer and picking up a new one. And the reason I'm doing that is because the one that we have right now is adjustable, but it only has two bunk arms on it. And I really want, like, it's just one giant bunk. But I want to have the ability to haul shorter pieces for all kinds of reasons, say pulp or whatever. So we're definitely going to be looking at that. And that means I need the ability to get a crane in here. And right now, I just don't have an area for a crane. So we may look at infilling some of this. We could even use the excavated materials kind of in here too, which would be perfect. And we could even potentially place some logs or something into the ground, maybe. I don't know. Just find some way to get this kind of evened out a little bit. And we could make it so that on one side, we'd have the loading bay for the regular 53-footers. And then we could even back up a bunk trailer and have a crane up top, bring everything over to the sawmill to be brought in, which would make a huge, huge difference. And that's obviously something I'm looking at buying as well. I'm looking at buying a small excavator for this project. Probably going to need a bigger one, but that's okay. Even if it takes us some time, that's just fine with me as well. And I will say this, most of the digging will probably be off screen because it's going to be really hard to catch a lot of it. But I'm also looking at a dozer, which will help us quite a bit with the evening of the terrain, as well as, obviously, you guys know I was looking for the dedicated sanding body truck and that sort of thing. So we will probably be looking at picking one of those up as well with some new stuff. A new dump truck along with it. I'm hoping I can get a bundle deal on those because those are being sold together. They're both internationals, which would be awesome. As well as a dedicated dumping trailer. I'm debating right now. I'm probably going to be getting both, and probably just an end dump for right now. I was looking at the Manic chip vans. Obviously, it would be awesome. But right now, we don't really have any ability to use those. I love those trailers, but it would make more sense for us right now to use a standard end dump from, say, like Travis or someone like that. So we'll probably be looking at one of those and picking one of those up as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's snowing again here in Beaver Creek, so we're already back to it. So what we'll probably be doing is in the next episode, we will be showing off whatever we got. I'm hoping that, obviously, it's going to be some time, so we'll see if we get more snow. And obviously, we can always do more plowing compilations if that's what you guys are into. But I'm hoping that the next time I'm talking to you, I have all the equipment and I get to show you guys what we got. But that's going to go ahead, and that is going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't, you know what to do. If you really, really liked it, please consider subscribing, and you can always hit that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload. In my description, you can find links to my Discord if you'd like to join and hang out with the crew, my Patreon if you'd like to support me further, And you can find me on social media, as always, at Longhauler GMG on Snapchat, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.